Hi, well, welcome. Good afternoon for those that are calling us on the Central Zone or Eastern Zone, and good morning to those on the West Coast. Still, that it's still hopefully a beautiful morning on the day before the 4th of July, and the really exciting part is it's also the day before we're going to officially be hitting pre-launch and start taking signups with Argo Life. So, real simple, quick here. My name is Jim DeVille. I'm the president of Argo Life. And I can tell you that I never expected to be on this side of the industry. So I'm part of a group of distributors that we've well over 100 years experience, I believe. We've looked at over 600 different companies. We've met with this says 60, but I bet it's closer to 100 companies. We've joined some along the way. We've made some incredible incomes along the way. The group that we're have founded this company with has sold billions of dollars in product, well over $30 million in earnings in the industry. And the truth is, we've all walked away from significant incomes because our people weren't getting paid. It's really a tragedy what's happened in this industry. It used to be such an incredible opportunity really for the average person to own a business from home, if you will. And things just aren't being done right. There's so many different issues, but it really comes down to the ownership of the companies, looking to make a lot of money. They've forgotten about customer models for the most part. They're selling in what in a lot of cases is average at best products for a highly inflated price. And then to make that worse, they don't pay full commissions on that, and then they put little things into their comp plans that actually will steal. They call it breakage, but I call it stealing from the distributors. So what we did is we simply set out to create the company that, in our opinion, at looking at the entire industry, didn't exist. So what we have is a service philosophy. We want to make sure that as a company, we bring exclusive products. Okay, that you're not going to find our products coming and appearing on the shelf at some store like Costco or something. And you might think that sounds a little far-fetched, but that's actually what happened to me in the first company that I got into. I started selling a juice-based product, and it was a really good product, and people were really enjoying it. And it was expensive, to take what I considered a healthy dose was about $160 a month. And 3 months into this thing really exploding for me, a knockoff product in a very similar bottle appeared in Costco for a fourth the price. And needless to say, my growing business turned around the other way and disappeared very quickly. So it has to be exclusive. We're not going to bring something to the market that isn't exclusive. We're not going to bring something to the market that isn't effective, absolutely life-changing in our opinion. And along those lines, we're going to price things fairly, and we're going to make sure then that we tie in a compensation plan that actually pays people. So we're not going to be like other companies where you might spend $100 with them, and then they'll say, well, only 80 of that is commissionable volume, but we'll pay out 50%. So they claim to pay out $40 then, which is actually 40% of the $100 spent, not 50. But then to make things worse, they'll put in these disqualifiers that will keep people from getting paid. So we don't want to do any of that, and I'll show you that as we go through this briefly. That breakthrough products and a game-changing opportunity where we just pay people. So we're going to wrap around that a system, of simple duplication and a culture of gratitude. And we're going to keep it really about being grateful for not just what we have, but what other people have and what they're bringing to the table, and really showing people that, there's a lot of research out there right now that you can literally reprogram your brain to look at all the positives in life when we're hit with so many negatives. So on the management side, as I said, we're a group of distributors. So we know that running a company, even though several of us have run multi-million-dollar companies in the past, grew from nothing up to some pretty sizable companies, it's not the same as running what could become, or what we believe will become, $1 billion company in the network marketing industry. So we've partnered with some amazing people. See, there's leaders in this industry, former C-level executives that have walked away from the industry, for the very same reason that we're starting this company, because the opportunity no longer exists. Companies aren't what they were founded on. And those guys are flocking to us. Why? Because we have the same vision of what they did when they originally got into this industry. So we've got incredible expertise on our advisory board, including the founder of a Fortune 500 company. So while we may be a little bit weak in certain areas, we're very strong on the marketing side, the production side, if you will. And that's really what it's about. We can bring in the experts on the other side. We can combine that with absolutely breakthrough products. Let me check here. I'll mute everyone again. Apologize for that. So anyway, we'll wrap that in with the incredible product. We want, as I said, effective, exclusive, value, priced right, and our products are going to literally solve problems for people. So what we want to talk about first, this is the first product that we will launch. We have additional products that are already research, developed, tested, that we'll be bringing to market. But there's really something to be said for focusing on one thing, doing it right. And what we know is that when we build a foundation here of balancing serotonin, we're going to have incredible impacts in people's lives. So our first product, it doesn't produce serotonin. What it does is it allows the body to naturally open up and balance the 14 different serotonin pathways. So the benefits, if you will, of the balance, you see better cognitive function, sexual function, mood, memory, fat metabolism, digestion, immune function, even sleep function. These are all products of a proper balance of serotonin in the body. Now we know that low serotonin will lead to anxiety, depression, obesity, fibromyalgia, obsessive thoughts, chronic pain. The list goes on and on. But there's also a whole other list from high serotonin. Okay, so it can be muscle rigidity, fever, seizures, ADHD. That can actually be fatal to have too much serotonin. And the truth is, there's a lot of products out there right now that are artificially, for the most part, putting serotonin into the body. And the body might not even be low in serotonin, it might be high. So obviously you'd rather be using a product that's going to allow the body to naturally produce the serotonin, raise it or lower it in the different pathways, or even open those pathways to allow the body to function normal. So a lot of this could probably be done with diet and lifestyle changes. But if it was really that simple, as a culture, we wouldn't be facing an epidemic called obesity, which is leading to, epidemic of diabetes, which, in turn is causing a whole another host of issues. And if it was really that simple to just change the lifestyle, we would be doing it. So, then there's the herbal and the natural things that, it could be pills, it could be liquids. A lot of those are very expensive. And again, what those focus on is adding serotonin, and that might not even be the issue that you have. So the supplementation, that just kind of points to, some of the other things people, just about everyone by now has heard about taking melatonin to help you sleep. And, the truth is, actually, when I take melatonin, I tried it one night and I had such a pounding headache, and I'm not a person that gets headaches. And, I read that, that's one of the side effects of taking melatonin. But what they don't tell you about taking melatonin is that when you do that, you actually cause the body to stop producing its own melatonin. Now, melatonin is actually part of the serotonin pathways. So it's the serotonin pathways that help produce the melatonin naturally in the body. So a lot of times what people are doing is they're putting melatonin in, causing the body to produce even less of its own, and not addressing the issue that could simply be from a pathway that isn't functioning properly. So, then there's the other shortcuts, the SSRIs, the medications out there, putting artificial serotonin in, if you will. And if you've watched any TV, you've seen the incredible side effects that can come with some of those products. So, we're not about that. What we are is about quality product that is going to allow the body to do what the body does, and that's take care of itself. So this is ADAPT. So our ADAPT X1 is it's actually a group of polyphenols that come from early growth monocots. So we want to think grass, corn, palm trees and banana trees are actually in the monocot family. There's thousands of plants in that family, but these polyphenols only exist in the earliest stages of growth. So if you take corn, and by the time you could stretch the leaves out to about 10 inches, which isn't that big for a corn plant that grows to be 8 feet tall, that's a very early stage growth, if you will. And by the time it gets to be 10 inches, there's basically none of these polyphenols left. So what they're responsible for is protecting the plant during its earliest stages. It'll protect it from insects, it'll protect it from funguses and bacteria and all different kinds of things. It's also very beneficial for the body. So much so that we've had 6 use patents issued. Now, if you're familiar with this industry, you know that virtually every company will say, yeah, we've got patents or we're patent pending on something. And when it's a natural product, it's usually on an extraction process. So someone will come up with a new way to take a compound out of a plant or even combine plants together and take something out. And what they will then do is patent the process or apply for a patent so that they can say they're patent pending. That's not what we have here. We actually have patents on the applications of the compounds, on the compounds themselves. What are those patents for? Well, just things like weight loss and appetite suppression, for mood bettering, which it's a different term, but that'd be a medical term. So sexual function, both desire and performance, as well as an adjunctive therapy for substance abuse. Okay, those are all patents on this product. So it's a very exclusive opportunity because of those patents, because it's locked down. So there's actually been a medical study that's been done on the ADAPT product. And in this double-blind, placebo, Yale protocol medical study, it was actually for sleep. Okay, you didn't even hear sleep mentioned in the patents yet. In this medical study, the placebo group had 0 results. Now, the group that received the ADAPT product, they fell asleep 30% faster. They had 30% fewer wakeful events. And they spent 25% more time in REM sleep. Okay, so very beneficial on this product. I can say that actually last night, we actually came up to the lake here for a couple of days. We'll head home tonight because the 4th of July is go day. So we'll be all set. And so I've got my office set up here at the lake, but now I'll go back in full force to the office starting tonight. But 2 nights ago, we first got to the lake and I forgot to take the spray before I went to bed. Last night I didn't forget, and I slept like a baby. At 10 after 5 this morning, I was up and ready to go. I had another one of these presentations that I was doing at 6 a.m. for individuals in other countries, and I felt just amazing. And yesterday morning wasn't quite the same story. And I know since I've been taking the product, one thing that I notice more than anything else is how much more I dream, how much more I can remember the dream, as well as the fact that I have gone back into the same dream as many as 4 times in the same night, in the same sleep episode. So pretty crazy to see something like that happen firsthand for me, because it was so rare that I would be able to remember a dream when I woke up. So it's pretty cool that I'm having that happen, and it just proves to me that I'm spending a lot more time in REM sleep. My sleep requirements have gone down dramatically. I probably get up an hour and a half earlier since I've started using this product than I was before, and I'm certainly not going to bed any earlier. If anything, I'm staying up later and keeping my brain more active into the later evening. So it's pretty cool, my personal benefits from the product. And actually, if I see that Stephanie is on. Stephanie, are you able to unmute yourself and give us a testimonial?
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Alrighty. Hi guys, my name's Stephanie. I am a mom of 2 kids under the age of 3, and neither one of them sleep through the night. So needless to say, I'm running on like nearly 3 years sleep deprivation. And one of the things that I really noticed was, even though I'm up, putting kids back to bed the same amount of times throughout the night, I'm able to go back to sleep easier. I'm not laying there staring at the ceiling thinking of all the things that I could be doing, or making lists of things that I will need to do the next day. My brain is actually able to shut down, and I'm actually able to go back to sleep. When I wake up in the mornings, I'm not, dragging myself out of the bed, desperately trying to get to the kitchen, bleary-eyed, searching for coffee. So it's made a huge difference for me, not just in my sleep patterns, but as a child, I was diagnosed as severe ADD. And when I'm tired, a lot of those things come back. I have a very hard time accomplishing tasks, finishing a thought, remembering where I was going with said thought. And when I'm getting enough sleep and when I'm using this product, I find that I'm able to finish tasks not in one sitting, but much quicker because I'm able to concentrate much better. I have a longer temper with my kids. I'm not, feeling like I'm going to lose it. It's been so helpful that I started giving it to my oldest, and he is only waking up once a night versus, 3-4 times of I'm thirsty or I need a hug. You know what I mean? Anybody who has young kids has had to deal with that. And now he's only waking up once, which is significant for him. I love this stuff. I'm seeing it help so many other families. I'm just totally pumped about it. It's great.
Hey, thanks, Stephanie. Appreciate that. And, it's just amazing what the product is doing for so many different people. And you heard her mention her young ones there. And the product is safe for any age. You can give it to an infant. It is so beneficial. It's amazing. And like I said, it's completely safe. And you can actually give it to your animals as well. And animals respond so well. If you have a dog or something that deals with anxiety, you can either spray it on their food, you can put it in their water, or you can actually spray it right in their mouth, and they'll get the exact same results, especially with the anxiety aspect. So it's pretty cool what this is all able to do for us. And what this allows us to do then is really focus on creating the opportunity that people deserve. So what we want to do in this industry of relationship marketing is create teams. So teams are always made up of a lot of individuals. And when you have the same driven focus and a common goal, that's what creates a strong team. And with Argo, our compensation plan, when you combine it with these life-changing products that we're bringing to the market at reasonable prices with a fair compensation plan, we do have the opportunity to change people's lives in multiple ways. So what we want to do is show people really how simple this can be. Okay, so we have what we call Activate, Qualify, iPad. It's that simple. What we want to do is activate as quickly as possible, and we'll show you how we've got some things in place that will help this happen. But activation is simply getting 3 customers, and that's your first goal when you join us as a distributor. Okay. Second goal is to qualify. Okay. So when you activate, that opens up, the customer earnings. When you qualify, it means that you've sponsored 3 distributors that have each 3 customers. By the time you've done that simple activity, you've unlocked our entire compensation plan, even though it kicks in phases. And the first part of it, simply by becoming a distributor, you've already unlocked, and that's the ability to earn 25% commissions on customers. So by the time you sign up just one person as a distributor, you'll have unlocked our entire unilevel 10 levels of pay, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But this Activate, Qualify, iPad. So when we activate, we get 3 customers. When we qualify, we help 3 distributors get 3 customers. All we need to do then is help our 3 distributors qualify, help them get 3 distributors with 3 customers. And we'll actually earn an iPad if we do that in the first 60 days. Lowest level of iPad in the industry. Pretty crazy. So here's that unilevel I was talking about. So first off, when we bring someone on as a distributor, we earn a 25% first order bonus. So we'll talk about our kits later on, but they contain 2 bottles of product. It's 110 in commissionable volume. It's 110 in purchase price. That Adapt product is just $55 a bottle, so less than $2 a day to use. But that's $27.50 commission on a first order bonus. And that 1 bottle of product that I mentioned for $55, that's enough to fully qualify you to earn commissions. And that can come from either your personal purchase or from having 1 customer that orders 1 bottle. Now, when you sponsor just 1 distributor, we're going to pay you 10 levels of all of their activity. And this really stemmed from the fact that we've talked to a lot of distributors. We've known a lot of distributors over the years, and there's so many people that have the same story, and that's that they had a big leg that blew up underneath them, but they didn't have other legs that balanced it out and allowed them to qualify, so they made virtually nothing. Okay, that's not going to happen here. When you have that one big leg, even if you didn't do anything else in other legs, we're going to pay you 10 levels, 34% total commission payout through those 10 levels on everything that happens from that one distributor. Now, other companies, they're going to put disqualifiers in, and you're not going to earn that. But the truth is, if I talk to someone and they bring me one person and that person goes out and produces $1 million in sales for this company, I'm grateful. Okay, I feel blessed that they've trusted us enough to introduce us to that one person. So why would I punish them for bringing the company $1 million in sales by not paying them? Instead, we're going to do just the opposite. We're going to thank them with 10 levels of pay throughout that $1 million producers organization. Okay, completely different than what the industry is doing. So the first 110 in volume from a distributor, whether it's 2 customers, 2 bottles being purchased by the distributor themselves, pays out in the unilevel. The remainder will pay out in our dual co-ops, which we'll get to in a little bit. But as I said, 34% total commissions earned. Now, for those of you that have some experience in the industry, you know that there's a lot of lifestyle bonuses and leadership bonuses and global pools and incentive trips and all these things. We have all those. So that doesn't, just because we're giving everyone full qualification for 10 levels, doesn't mean that there isn't still leadership type income here that does require some qualifications. It does require a little bit of balance between multiple legs and things. But what we're not doing is taking away the paycheck from that person that only was able to bring us one person that started growing a team. The truth is, there's 2 things in this industry that kill it, and they both fall into the same category, and it's attrition. One of those things happens is people will leave because products are overpriced, so they can find a comparable product somewhere else cheaper. The second is that distributors are not earning income. Both of those will cause them to leave. So when we're going to bring fair priced products, low qualifications on personal requirements as far as volume, very minimal qualification as far as getting paid, we can change the industry by fighting the biggest problem, and that is that attrition. So that's how we're really focused on this. And when you think about this industry, what really happens, I don't know if earbuds all of a sudden got funny there. Sorry. This industry was founded on customer model. And what that really means is that when you look at the industry statistics, if you started as a customer, you are 60% more likely when you upgrade to a distributor to remain a product user, okay, to not be one of those that leaves. You're 60% more likely to earn an income simply because you started as a customer and then you made the decision. But it's not what the industry is about right now. The industry is about getting you to come on with big kits and just jump in as a distributor. Don't worry about trying the product first. And it's the wrong model, because we want to get back to what made this industry so great. So customer commissions, we're going to pay 25%. Every time a customer purchases, whether it's the first month, second month, 2 years from now, we're going to pay a 25% commission. So on a $55 product, $13.75. But we have 2 different types of customers. One is a brand new customer. So their first order, then we have what we call a subscriber. That's any residual orders. So that would be month 2, month 3, anytime beyond that. And all volume, all personal volume over 110. Remember, the first 110 pays in the unilevel. Now, you might have a family of 5 that you want on this product, and you might spend $275 a month for those 5 bottles. Okay, what we do is we actually pay a 25% commission on everything over $110, even though it was for your own use. Okay. We want to make sure that we don't create a situation where our distributors have to create a false entity. Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a in-law or their mom or their kid or their dog in a lot of cases, so that they can get paid on their own purchases as a customer. We don't do that here. We're just going to be upfront and honest and pay those commissions. So what we really want to do is get people started quick. So We want people starting as a customer, experiencing the product, and then once they have, we want them to upgrade to the distributor. And it's then that this whole thing gets fun, because literally we want them to sprint to the start. So in the first 48 hours, we've got an incentive-driven program here in our new customer pool. What this will do is it gives someone 4 points per customer per product in their first 48 hours after becoming a distributor. Now, long and short of it is, if you've been in over 61 days, then you will only get 1 point. And what we do is we take 25% of the sales price. So that brings us to a full 50% in commissions being paid out. But we take 25% of the sales price, or $13.75 per product. We put it into this new customer pool. We take all of the money, we divide it up by the total number of points that were earned, and each one of those points then pays out. So a new person will earn 4 times as much in additional income above and beyond the 25% when they get started right away. Okay. What we want everyone to do, ideally, is to activate in their first 48 hours. Okay, and that'll come into play here right now, because when you activate, you actually get placed into our dual co-ops. So our dual co-ops are 3 by 13 structures. So every person has 3 positions underneath them, and then those 3 positions each have 3 positions. So it goes 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, 729. And it just keeps tripling every level as we go down. We go on 13 levels. So what we do is, when you activate, when you get 3 customers, you claim your spot into those co-ops. There's 2 of them. One's a company-wide co-op and one's a personal genealogy, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But if we can do that right away, we get placed into the co-ops. The earlier we get placed in, the more advantage we have. And then we want to qualify. This qualifying to be paid in these co-ops. How does that happen? Well, remember, that's bringing on 3 distributors, helping them get 3 customers. Okay, now we've qualified forever to be paid in this, as long as we maintain 110 in personal volume, 165 in customer volume each and every month. So we have 3 customer products being purchased for every, and 2 products being purchased for ourselves, or it could be 5 customers. But again, the first 110 pays out in the unit level. So what this allows us to do with that second 25% that the first month went into the new customer pool, it lets us put it into the co-op. So we get to put $1 per product per customer in each of the 13 levels. Okay, so a total of $13 payout for each product, each customer, all the way through those 13 levels. Okay, I don't want to confuse things too much here, but I mentioned the 2 co-ops. The first one, the company-wide co-op, as soon as we activate, we get placed into this structure. This will just fill from the company down, left to right, row by row. What we do is we pay out of that $1, we pay out 25 cents on every product purchased by every customer for 13 levels in a person's organization. Then we 33% check match. So when you bring in those 3 people to activate, everything they would earn, you would get 33% of that added onto your paycheck. Now, there's some people out there that I know will sponsor not just 3, not just 5, but they'll sponsor 50. There's some that'll sponsor 100. I know people that have sponsored 6, 7, 800 distributors into companies. Okay, think about the check matches. Every time a customer in that 13 level organization structure earns 25 cents or buys a product, they earn 25 cents, you get a check match on it. Now, the personal genealogy, that follows your own sponsorship. So you come in underneath the person that sponsored you, and your people will come in underneath you, and so on. So it follows that unique sponsorship chain. And you can get, obviously those people that are sponsoring 5 or 10 or 100, they still only have 3 positions. So we call that spillover. So it's additional people that will come into the organization underneath you because they have no other spot to go but down below that person. So in that personal genealogy, we pay 50 cents on every product, every customer, 13 levels. And then we also provide a 33% check match. So that's a total of 75 cents paid out, with a 33% check match brings us up to that full $1 for every product purchase, every customer, every time. So we're pretty excited about that. As this matures, we are going to create massive organizations, because this is what it looks like in these co-ops. You see that 3, 9, 27. Look how big these numbers get by the time you're down 11, 12, 13 levels. Okay, we're talking massive groups of people, nearly 2.4 million distributors that would all have at least 3 customers, which would all be paying out at least $3 per level for those 13 levels. Pretty crazy what this thing would be capable of doing. But we also have what we call generational pay, or dynamic compression, which simply means this can get a lot bigger than 2.4 million distributors. So it's a way to eliminate any holes that might appear in the structure. So it's pretty cool how this is all going to work. I also mentioned how the industry has gone to bringing on these big packs and really loading people up with inventory. It's not what we're about. At Argo Life, we want to keep this for the average person. And I was recently talking with someone that they were pitched on a company that was $5,000 to join. And how is that an opportunity for the average person? The average person can't put $5,000 on their credit card and hope to pay it off, over the next 6 or 12 months. Okay. Now, what we have is $185, and that includes 2 bottles. So $110 of that is straight up your product, and the rest is, the entire distributor kit. It's the back office, it's all the software, it's the social shopping cart. It's so much stuff in here. We use a business checking account that we actually pay into, and we actually are paying daily. So while the Unilevel and the co-ops have to pay monthly, everything else, so all the first order bonuses, the 25% commissions that are earned on customers, will all be paid the very next day after that order is placed. So we're pretty excited about that, because again, this is about the average person. And there's a lot of people out there that fall into that group, and I'm one of them. You don't always know where the money that you're going to spend tomorrow comes from, but we're going to provide a system for someone that if they need to have money tomorrow, they can go out and they can get some customers going today, and the money will be available to them tomorrow. So we're really excited about providing that opportunity. Right now, as I said, we're pre-launch, and we're go for pre-launch on the 4th of July. It's our opportunity to allow the distributors to declare their independence, if you will, from the BS that's going on in the network marketing industry. And during this, so we're only going to be allowing distributors in. And why do I have a customer focus and only want distributors? Well, because if I was going to go out and introduce this product to customers only, now I'm going to have to wait for them to get a experience with the product, and then some of them will upgrade, and then we can start, sharing through their experience. Instead, what we want to do is offer an incentive right now to bring people on as a distributor. Why? Because now, instead of me introducing the product to 50 people as a customer, I can have hundreds and thousands of distributors in the next 30 days getting their own product experience and getting ready to share this with customers. So we're now exposing tens of thousands of customers on August 3rd, which is when we launch our customer portal. But if you've been following along, you know that you have to get 3 customers in order to activate your position in the co-ops. So during our pre-launch, during the phase, the first 30 days, we're going to automatically place every distributor into those dual co-ops. Simply by joining at $185, you drop into there, you won't have to activate, okay? So what we're doing is we're just incentivizing a little bit extra, because remember, getting in early is key. The higher up you are in those co-ops, the more people that can come in underneath you. And obviously you saw how big those organizations can become in 13 levels. Okay, so that's a big advantage there. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is, when you qualify, you bring on 3 distributors and you help them get activated. Well, now if you just bring on 3 distributors, they'll each fall into those co-ops very high up as well. So now every person that you bring in, remember that it's worth a 33% check match in all their earnings once we launch that customer module and we start paying them the residual month over month on those orders. So it's pretty exciting what we have here for the distributors. So what do we want to do right now? We want to get ready for tomorrow. Okay, we want to have that $185 ready for tomorrow. We want to get people on these Zoom calls. We're doing these 6 a.m., noon, 8 p.m. Central Time every day through next Saturday. Then we'll go to a Monday Wednesday, Friday schedule straight through August 3rd, okay, when we launch our customer launch. And what we want to start doing is just growing our teams. So this is a critical time for us as a company. We're excited. We've got a life-changing product. We have so many, literally thousands of testimonials already on this product, and we haven't even started getting it out to people yet. It's truly exciting what we have and the opportunity that we have to go out and change people's lives. So I want to thank you for joining us. Look forward to having a chance to talk to everyone soon, and let's go crush this on Independence Day tomorrow. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye now.